Have you ever seen a pitching wedge that looked like this? You're like, that's a hybrid. No, it is a pitching wedge. On today's episode, we're playing the weirdest set of golf clubs I have ever played. It's a full set of 11 hybrids. As you can see, there's no irons in this bag. In fact, I accidentally forgot my wedges. We just have a driver, a putter, and these hybrids. We've got 3-through pitching wedge. Now, these things to me are so strange that I originally rejected doing this review. 11 Golf approached me, said, hey, would you take a look at our clubs? And I just thought it was kind of a gimmick, I'll be quite honest with you. But I saw them at the PGA show, I took a couple of shots with them, and right away I was convinced this could be an incredible club for both beginners as well as you folks who are moving up there in the age bracket. Maybe you don't hit it as far as you want. You need to get that ball up in the air, get yourself a little bit of distance. These clubs may be able to do that. So what we're gonna do here today is we're gonna test them out at the beautiful Carrollwood Country Club. We're gonna play 9 holes, and our over-under is going to be plus or minus 2. If I can shoot plus 2 or better, we've got ourselves a win with these clubs. I'm gonna tell you everything I see as we play some golf holes here today together. There's your 7-iron down at address. That is one of the most bizarre looking things I've ever seen. A 7-iron, but it's a hybrid. It gets crazier though with the pitching wedge. There's a look at the pitching wedge. Look at that. It almost feels like your hands are way in front of the ball because of that offset built into the pitching wedge. I've never seen anything like it. Now, before we tee off here, I do want to tell you about something special that we're doing tomorrow, February 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm hosting a live stream, but not just any live stream. We're gonna be on the Whatnot platform, and I'm gonna be auctioning off golf clubs and golf technology used here on Let's Play Through. On that show, we'll be giving away a full set of irons. I'll be giving away some Let's Play Through branded merch, some putter covers and some driver covers. I've got some amazing technology that we're auctioning off, including golf watches, golf rangefinders, and of course, more golf clubs. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I've got a link down below in the description, and when you use my link, you're actually gonna get your first $10 free on Whatnot. We're gonna have so much fun. Make sure to bring some questions too, because there'll be plenty of Q&A. It's just gonna be a good time. Tomorrow night, mark your calendar now on Whatnot, link down below. All right, let's get to work. Well, I smoked that first drive, and it actually is gonna make this next shot harder because I can't wrap my head around hitting a wedge with a hybrid and looking down at this club, but we're gonna try to do it together. Let's find out. One thing is nice is that on all of these head covers, they actually tell you what club it is. And another thing that's nice is they tell you the loft for this club. This pitching wedge is 43 degrees. We're gonna talk about lofts here in just a second, but I'm gonna hit this shot here, which is 129. We got a little rough here to deal with. I got to get the ball up in the air over a little bit of water too. Just looking down at this thing, it's so strange. I'm just going to try to swing this thing like I would swing my pitching wedge and see what happens. Wow, it's up in the air, super high. And again, whoa, we got a really good crack at birdie. The divot we took there looked like an iron divot from the rough. That's surprising. And there's just something about seeing that ball go that high in the air after holding a hybrid. It just doesn't seem right, but it worked. It just absolutely worked there. Wow. In terms of distance, it looks like I hit that just about as far as my normal pitching wedge. So I went right next to the hole here. This is my pitch mark right here. And we rolled out about 15 feet. I mean, out of the rough, you're gonna expect that you're gonna get a little bit more rollout, but it'll be interesting to see spin-wise how these clubs perform throughout the day. But I mean, I hit that 133, let's call it. Pretty strong, pretty darn strong. All right, let's see if we can make a birdie putt. Start this round off right. Break. Oh, I would have loved to start this round with a birdie, but we'll take the easy par. And we're heading to par 5. Here's a club that should absolutely thrive from this position. We're about 300 yards out from this hole, so I'm not gonna get there. But 3 hybrid is gonna be the play. You can see this is 18 degrees. And speaking of lofts, in general, this set is not crazy lofted. It's not super strong. There's been a big move over the years for manufacturers to create stronger lofted clubs. And we sometimes see 7-iron sitting at 28 degrees these days. And the 7-iron in these 11 clubs is actually quite a bit less at 31 degrees. Still stronger than a traditional forged blade or something like that, but it's definitely reasonable. Hardest club for anyone to hit is going to be the 3 and 4 irons in any set. This is so much easier to do that. In fact, I just hit that one pretty much off the toe, and we went right down the middle there. We're going to be in, again, maybe wedge range or 9-iron range here to attack this par 5. And just so you can see it, off that toe hit, still got decent distance, 187. So that is really exemplary of why someone would want to choose these clubs. Someone who needs the forgiveness, needs the distance, especially on the off-center hits, and maybe just doesn't feel confident with an iron. I've got 136. We're going to play a 9-iron here. Let's see if we can control the trajectory. Now, we haven't talked shafts and customizability yet, so let's do that now. As you can see, I've got a KBS 80-gram stiff shaft on here. This is graphite, and all the shafts offered by 11 are going to be graphite. There's going to be a number of options, regular, stiff, senior, ladies, all sorts of different options there. Now, in terms of adjustability, no adjustability on the hosel, which makes sense because, again, you've got that loft written right on the club, but it would have been nice probably to have a little bit of adjustability. You've got the regular grip, and then you've got a medium grip. This grip is not one I've ever played before. It's called a G-Rip or a grip. It feels fine. I wouldn't say super premium, but it feels fine. Let's give it a rip. 9-iron. Pushed that one off to the right a little bit. Interestingly enough, these clubs make divots like irons. It's just so weird. So we're going to be chipping off the green, and I actually forgot to bring my wedges like a dummy. So we're going to be using the pitching wedge to chip with. This is going to be an interesting little chip, and I'm going to play this like I'd play a chipper, basically. So you pretty much have a built-in chipper in this set. And it's actually a really handy club for the bump and runs that people have so much trouble playing. I don't know if I read that so well. Had the distance pretty good, but we've got a putt at par here. Definitely the putter saved us right there. I love this putter that I've been playing. If you missed the review last week, I'll put a link to it here. This is the Lab DF3. This thing is special. It has some interesting technology for sure. So far, I'm really liking it. But we're talking about these hybrids here today. And yeah, you know, they're going to forgive some sins, but they're not going to forgive every sin, as you can see there. You still got to hit some good shots. They're going to help you get the ball up in the air real nice and easy. You're going to get the distance that you probably lack, especially if you've gotten up there in age, you're losing swing speed, or maybe you're a beginner just starting out and you just haven't built up your swing speed. This is going to help there, but you still got to put these shots online. Beautiful little par 3 here today at 141. I'm going to go 9-iron, and we're going to see if I can work this ball a little left to right. I'm going to try to hit a little bit of a fade. Now, you would think with a club like this, you're not going to get extreme workability because when you have forgiveness, you usually aren't able to shape the shots as much. But we'll find out what these things can do, if anything. Fighting against the wind that's blowing a little right to left, but it did have a little bit of shot shape to it. And I gotta say, in terms of distance, that looked really good. Really good. We've got a putt for birdie here. Let's go make it. We'll continue to test that workability with something like the 5 hybrid, things like that. But my initial impression is you can get a little bit of movement if you need it. But all in all, that's not why you're buying these clubs. You're gonna be buying these to hit them as straight as possible. We've got a really good pop at birdie here now. One thing I hope we get a chance to test today, though, is hitting things out of maybe fairway sand traps, really thick, rough, that sort of thing. That's where I think these clubs may have a little bit of a struggle to them. We're just a couple yards past the hole. I'd say I hit that 143 because I measured that flagstick at 141. We're about 2 yards past it. As you can see, pitch mark wise, a lot better than that first hole. Hitting it off the tee, it only rolled out to right here, which is about 2 feet maximum. So impressive there in terms of stopping power. I just would not guess that out of a hybrid club, but they actually perform similar to an iron. Crazy enough. Okay, 20 feet here. And speed was good. Ooh! We'll take the tap in par. We're still even par, and we're heading to the toughest hole on this 9 holes. This is a very long par 4. We're gonna get a chance to pull out one of those long hybrids and see if we can hit the green. Really imposing shot here. I've got 192, and this is gonna be your 4 hybrid. Now you can see there's still a little bit of offset built into these. That's gonna help you get your hands forward in the club face. Most amateurs don't do that naturally, so that helps you see the club face better and get your hands in front where they need to be. I've got to hit this thing really well. Wish me luck. Woo! I did hit it well, but I was so worried probably about the water on the right that I kind of got my arms through too quick. Now, in terms of distance, we did absolutely great. We're pretty much pin high, but we've got a very difficult shot to pull off without a wedge, because you really can't open this face up like you could do to a wedge, I don't think. I'm gonna try though. Oh, maybe you can. I got it way off my front foot. I've got to carry this bunker, but not put it in the water behind there either. Wow, I can't believe I did as well as I did. All things considered, this could have been a lot worse result with a hybrid having to carry a bunker. We do have a chance here for par, although improbable. I'd really love to get a bogey right now, honestly. Did I hit it enough to get past there? No. Ooh. Oh, not making it easy on myself. 5-footer to avoid a double. We do not want to put a double on the scorecard. Got to steady the ship here. Whew. Very difficult lie here. This is going to be a crazy shot anyways, because I've got to fade the ball through this little slot here, and the pin is really over here. Nearly impossible, I think, with these clubs, but it's going to be a great test of what they can do. Got to put a huge cut on it. Oh, I got through that little spot. It's not fading insanely, but I think I just hit the green. If not, I'm on the front fringe. Oh boy, that was the shot of the day right there. And we did hit the green. I cannot believe I pulled that one off. Wow. The fact that I've got a birdie putt here, it's just not fair, really. Ooh, it's a good line. Oh, I am thrilled with a par though, from where we started. And we're heading to a par 3. Man, do we have a birdie in us? I feel like I can do anything after I just pulled that shot off, I gotta admit. Well, we're just about bang on 150 here. I've got 8-iron in hand. Now there's a big bunker guarding this green right in front where the flagstick is cut right over it. So I gotta get everything to clear that. So nice and high up in the air. It's a little right of my target, but it's drawn in just a touch. And did we hit the green? No. I'd actually probably putt this one, but why not get the most out of these clubs we can? And it's just nice and fun to use a chipper, and no one's gonna make fun of me because all of my clubs are hybrids. And that's exactly how it's done. Is that going in the hole? Oh my gosh, that went right over the edge. Now I'm really enjoying these clubs, and I think they're very forgiving, but they're not perfect clubs. And we're gonna talk about some of the little issues I see here right after I hit this drive. Oh yes, that was a bomb. Now, I'm really enjoying these clubs, absolutely, and they're very, very forgiving. But there are a couple of issues here that we've got to talk about. The first one really has to do with feel. So if you're getting up there in age and you're using these clubs because you need to get a little bit more distance, that's one thing, and I think these clubs work great for that. But if you're a beginner and you're learning how to make good contact with the ball, these clubs may actually set you back just a little bit, and the reason is you're not getting as much feel from these clubs as you would an iron. It's hard for me to really feel on the club face where I'm hitting it. Am I hitting it towards the toe? Am I hitting it towards the heel? Now, I test clubs on a daily basis, so I've got a pretty good idea of where I'm hitting it, but for you beginners, it's going to be a little bit more difficult with these. Of course, the flip side is you're going to get that forgiveness. You're gonna have shots that look really good most of the time, and you're not gonna know when your contact is less than perfect, but that's gonna happen a lot, especially when you're getting started. So just something to think about here for you beginners and for you high handicappers. If you wanna have a little bit more feel and really some feedback off the clubs, these probably aren't going to be the clubs for you. All right, on this par 5, we are just laying up. So I've got 3 hybrid in my hand. Hopefully I hit this better than I did the first time. I'm gonna play a little forward in my stance, see if that helps things. Again, really nice and easy to get off the ground. Still hit that one a little off the toe, but I got decent distance, and we'll actually have a pretty good angle at the pin over there. Now, if I'm being honest with myself, I think the struggles with these 3 and 4 hybrids come with the fact that I'm just not feeling confident. When I don't have a confident swing with a club, I just tend to steer it. Now, that's exactly what I did right there. So next time I have a shot with one of those, I'm just gonna let loose and hit it. And that's the thing about these clubs. It may take a little getting used to, but once they do, hopefully they're gonna perform well for you. Okay, we got another interesting shot because here's my lie. I've got to keep it low under these branches because the flagstick is right there. Gonna be a tough shot. Something you beginners should learn is how to hit all of the different clubs in your bag different distances, because this is when you're gonna need it. I've got to keep the ball low here. So I'm actually, while it would be a pitching wedge distance for me, I'm actually gonna take on a 7-iron. I'm gonna try to keep it low. And what I'm gonna do is choke up on this club. Hopefully it's going to kind of roll up onto the green. Let's see if we can pull it off. Kept it nice and low. It needs to land right in front. Ooh, I think I carried it just a touch too far. And we may be over the green there. But in terms of control, that was really nice to be able to keep that trajectory low, shape that shot a little bit. Oh, I'd love to pull off what we just pulled off on the last hole. I'm gonna try to, again, bump it right into the top of this hill. Hopefully it then releases with enough speed to get up to the level that pin's on. It's on like a little second tier there. Didn't get that one up in the air like I thought. It wasn't a terrible result though. One way or the other, we do have a putt for par, but it wasn't my most beautiful looking strokes. Luckily, there's no pictures on a scorecard unless you're holding a camera. What was I thinking? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh, right at the end, it just dove a little right. I hate bogey in par 5s. We're now +2 and we're on the bubble. So for these clubs to pass the test, we've got to stay even par here or better. And I'm still hoping for the or better part. Pushed that drive, but we actually have a clear line of sight here in the rough, and it's not too bad of a lie either. I've got 167. I'm gonna try another fade shot here with a 7-iron. Let's see if we can pull it off. Now that had a nice little fade to it. Hit that one solid. Oh, is it? I think it's tight. One of the best cracks at birdie all day. I've got 12 feet. Here's my pitch mark. Again, for coming out of the rough, the spin hasn't been bad either, and that's been the other surprise with these clubs, is when they hit the green, they're not rolling right off. Okay, so this would be huge. All right, well, we've got one hole. A par does it for us. All in all, though, I've really enjoyed these clubs, and after I hit my drive, I'm gonna rank them for you. All right, it's time to rank these clubs, and I rank them on 5 criteria. The first one is distance. I'm giving these a 4 out of 5. Ample distance out of these clubs. I do like that the lofts aren't super forward pressed, but they're not going to be as long as a super game improvement iron either. So 4 out of 5, good distance. In terms of forgiveness, we're giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Boy, the ball gets up in the air so easy. It's so nice, and for the most part flies very, very straight. I just struggled again with the 3 and 4 hybrids, but once I got used to those, I think I can dial them in. Now we move on to workability, and as I spoke about before, clubs that are super forgiving are very rarely workable, but these are workable than I expected they'd be. I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 5 here. Not too bad. You can move the ball a little bit. When it comes to aesthetics, this is a tough one for me because I have to divorce my mind of these not being an iron, these being a hybrid. For hybrids, they look absolutely beautiful. Very high-end look to them. They look primo. The sound is great with these as well. The feel is, again, the only place these things lack a little bit, but only in relation to other irons. In terms of hybrids, they have great feel too. So I'm gonna give these, again, 4 out of 5. Lastly, we've got value, and these clubs get a full 5 out of 5 stars for me on value. For about $700 US. You can get yourself a set of these. That's great value, and it's gonna help you enjoy the game, which is the most important thing. They come with some good shafts on them. They're not cheap shafts, and it's a quality product. No matter what happens here, I've enjoyed these clubs immensely, I've got to say, but I do want to get our goal here, so I hope we can get a par or maybe a birdie. We've got 176, difficult shot, and I've got to hit the 6 hybrid here, which I think is the one club we have not hit yet today. I'm going to play the fade one more time here as well. Is it too much? That had some movement to it. This was a really evil pin position. Tough shot here coming back. Go, go, go. Oh boy, it's as good as I could do. All right, we got a crack at a par here. For better or worse though, I've enjoyed these clubs. I hope you'll give them a chance if you're in the market for something super forgiving like I did. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget, tomorrow's the live stream, so make sure to tune in, hit that link below, and I'll catch you on another edition of Let's Play Through. Woo!